Alright, we all have that one friend. The one friend that came out the womb watching anime, and he knows every detail, every character. He's not allowed to like any of the popular shows. And then you talk to them about any anime, and they're like, oh, that's generic. Oh, that's mid. When you ask them what they watch, it's like, when I went to the grocery store as a child and got transformed into a demon monster that saved the whole world. And you're like, was that the synopsis or was that the title? And then we all also have that one anime friend in the group that just got into anime and they're into like Fire Force, Sword Art Online, whatever is on the most popular tab of Crunchyroll, and they're like a little child. You gotta give them a break. They're just getting into it. But then for us level-headed fans, they cross the line, those newbies. When they say the words, yeah man, Black Clover is really cool, it has a really original story, it's super sick, that when that happens, both the level-headed fan and the absolute nerd of the group are just like, you can't be saying that, man. But for someone whose favorite anime is Naruto, and I've watched all of Black Clover, listen, despite the fact that the first 80 episodes are just a rerun of Naruto, Black Clover ain't that bad, and Black Clover got a movie coming out soon, and I just want to get into, is Black Clover really deserve all the hate? Is the nerd anime fan right that you should be stoned for watching Black Clover? Now, obviously, there's so many extreme perspectives and takes on Black Clover. I'm just gonna get into why it's kind of bad and why it's kind of not so bad. Alright, so why is it bad? We'll get the bad out of the way first, because retention proves that if you put something bad first, people want to watch it. So why is it bad? Okay, the first 80 episodes, like I was saying, are just a rerun of Naruto. Like, I don't know if it's 80 episodes exact, so fuck off, but it literally feels like you're rewatching a shit version of Naruto. Asta's voice actor is so beyond annoying, and Yuno is supposed to come off as like cool like Sasuke, except Sasuke has like a tragic backstory. Sasuke actually tries to do insanely cool stuff like challenging the Demon Brothers, challenging Kakashi. You have reason to support Sasuke because you know he has a tragic backstory. Yuno is just like Yuno is like, why would anyone like Yuno? And then you can tell at some point they sat Asta's voice actor down where it's like, yeah, I'm sorry, you gotta shut the fuck up. And then as eventually over time, Asta's voice actor gets a little bit better. And then Asta himself is somewhat likable. He's a shit version of Naruto, but they have it so he is really, really, really down bad. You know, maybe not as emotionally as Naruto is, but he's super weak and whatever. It's the same generic kind of like trope. And just because we've all seen it before, we hate it, but it's not that bad. But you eventually get to some good stuff in Black Clover, I feel like, especially the invasion. I really like some parts there. Asta, though, I don't know if I'm just looking for a longer progression, but I feel like him and Yuno definitely progress at an extremely fast rate, which definitely makes it a little jarring. They set this expectation that it was Naruto, and then all of a sudden, it's trying to be its own thing, and then it gets kind of okay. They do an okay job, and then some of the parts are just like, okay, now we're just gonna make Asta strong and he's just gonna level up like crazy. Not to mention the fact that his grimoire is literally like the same thing as Kurama, especially when you catch up. It literally feels like the same thing. But eventually, I don't even remember the exact arc, but when they in the cave and stuff, that was a really cool part. That was the best part up to that point in the show. And as time went on, they started being more and more original, and you can tell whoever wrote it, I don't know who wrote it, he is doing a much better job now, especially if you're caught up in the manga. The twists and turns are insane, but I don't want to spoil the manga. I know a lot of people don't read it at all. It's pretty good. Like, give it a try. It's not bad. I think a lot of people hate on Black Clover solely because it's just, everyone wants something new, but then at the end of the day, when you think about the shows that blow up, like, I think people just didn't like Black Clover, man, because everything is somewhat similar to each other in ways. I think it also, part of it is because Black Clover came out very close to the end of Naruto, so there's definitely that. It's like, oh, we're going from one of the greatest anime of all time to Black Clover. But I think as they get more and more original, the characters are really interesting too. I think there just needs to be more confidence in the characters, and that gets me into the good. I think as they got more and more original, like I was alluding to earlier, the story got better, and Black Clover started to become its own thing with elements that were similar to Naruto instead of just straight up copying it. I think that's what really makes a lot of shows struggle, when they don't know and don't have their own identity. Without knowing your own identity, you're not going to enjoy it. And then once Black Clover figured that out, they understood what they wanted to do with their characters, how they wanted to set up their fights. Their fights are a lot more similar to a One Piece fight with isolated 1v1s or isolated team battles. compared to Naruto. And then as time just went on, Black Clover had better story moments, better anticipation, and you could tell some of the twists, especially in the Elf arc, were legit, man. Like, they were legitimately really good. I think you can get behind the idea that Black Clover maybe deserves a second try. The main premise and takeaway from this video, though, is definitely give the manga a try. The manga is legit, man, especially when you catch up. The art is, like, pretty decent, and then also, the anime, yeah, no, I'm not about to tell you to get over an 80 episode hump, man. If you don't want to watch the anime, it's all good. So, nice little short video. I didn't do much crazy prep and research over Black Clover. Honestly, I saw the movie was coming out and was like, you know what, let me revisit Black Clover. Let me just think about it a little bit and give it some love. So, let me know what you guys think about the movie. Let me know if you do read the manga, how you feel about it. And also, why didn't you like Black Clover when it came out? So, yeah, we're just getting started. We're going to stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next video.